If you don't love me by now, no, you will never love me. If you don't love me by now, no, you will never love me. If you don't love me by now, no, you will never love me. No, you will never. What's up, guys? Welcome back to another episode of Stripping on Love. I'm your host, Jônelle Blender. If you guys are new here, please be sure to go listen to my other content that I currently have out. And if you guys are returning, thank you so much for your continuous support. So today I have a really special guest, someone that inspires me, someone that has motivated me in the past, someone who I really look up to, and I love her music. She is a reggae artist. She is amazing, and her name is Jônelle. And I'm so happy to have her here today because she is such a smart individual and very just really inspiring, and I thought she would be a really good person to have on today's show. I really hope you guys enjoy today's episode, and yeah, let's go, guys. All right, guys, so as you can see, I have Jônelle on the podcast, and she's like my favorite person ever, and she knows this.
No, I didn't. Thank you, though.
Listen, I listen to her music religiously every single day of my life. No joke. I'm like serious. And
Thank you.
inspires me in so many ways to follow my dreams and to step out of my comfort zone. And I often give her a lot of credit as to why I gained my love back for music. I'm not lying.
You know that's a huge compliment. So thank you.
You're welcome. So your music is how I learned about you.
Yeah.
So what made you fall in love with music for the first time?
Ooh, I don't know when I fell in love with music. I don't know when it was. I don't remember a specific time. But I do remember when I realized that I loved music. And I feel like I loved music more when I didn't know that I loved it. But I've always done music. I started singing during recess with my friends. We would have like singing competitions, or just even, we would just take turns singing in like a circle of friends, We used to do stuff like that. Then I started playing the trumpet in like the 4th or 5th grade. And then, my music developed into singing with my school's choir, my church's choir, leading praise and worship. And then eventually I decided to pursue music as a career. So I feel like I've always been just doing music.
I feel that. Why reggae?
Why reggae? Wow. You know what? That's funny because I actually did not grow up singing reggae music. I listened to it, but I didn't grow up singing it. So I don't know. I think it was just a connection. It was just something that I can't really necessarily explain or put into words, but there was a moment. Actually, no, there was a time where I did feel very sad and depressed, and it wasn't every reggae song, but Chronixx in particular that really lifted my spirits.
Lock it.
I used to ask myself, like, yo, how come I can connect so much more to this music? And I'm a Christian, and I struggle to connect to some of these gospel songs, but I sing some of these Chronixx songs, and I relate so much to them. You know what I'm saying? So that's when I realized, like, yeah, I really love reggae music. And then I started writing. If I heard like a rap or an R&B song, I would rewrite it, remix it to make it sound more reggae. And I started doing that. Never really told people I did that though. And then I started pursuing music as a career, and I decided to do reggae because that's what I had the most love for.
I feel that. I love Chronixx. Chronixx is, I remember 9th grade, I think. My dad had this CD. It was a Chronixx CD. Proper mix. And I don't know if I thought, boss what? Yo.
Next time them away at the bus stop. They don't know, They don't know.
Yo, this guy, he's different.
Different.
Like, he's different.
I'm
I'm sorry to drift, but he's different.
Drift. I'm drifting. He is.
And I'm like, where did he go? We need you.
Let me tell you something. I could tell that Chronixx is a very intentional person.
Yeah.
And I can tell that he wants to make music that people can really connect to and relate to. And I believe that you cannot rush that. That can't be rushed. So you have to take your time. You have to live some life so you can find.
I agree.
You have to find the words to say. And in order for you to find the words to say, you've got to gain some experience. And so sometimes, you're not in a season of putting out. Sometimes you're in a season of taking in. And who knows? Maybe he wanted to spend more time with his family. And so I can't, I would love to hear from him, obviously, but I can't put that responsibility on him.
I feel like when he pops back out, it's going to be fire.
He's been He's been giving us some of these, like he's about to pop out, then he pulls his head
And
back
then he
in,
pulls his head back in. That little freestyle he did made my whole life. I watched it about like 50 million times. I promise you.
I'm longing for Chronixx. Not in that way, but you know what I mean. Like I'm longing to feel his energy. I would love it if I could share the stage with him. Honestly, I just want to shake his hand. I just want to tell him thank you. I've already met Teflon Zinc Fence, but I never really said thank you to him. I just kind of said, hey, what's up?
I feel that. So on the topic of that, who else inspired your music? Like who inspired Jônelle to, obviously you sound like yourself, but who inspired your sound?
I would say Bears, Sanchez, definitely Sanchez, because I listened to a lot of Sanchez, Barrington Levy.
Yep, I could hear that in your music.
Yeah, huge. And you know what? My love for Barrington Levy, strangely enough, came from my love for video games. And his music was always featured on Keja, which was a reggae radio station on Grand Theft Auto. And that's how come I became more familiar with Barrington Levy. Yeah.
I never knew that.
So that's how come I ended up loving Barrington Levy. But I like Wayne, Lutan, Fire, Luciano, everybody. I feel like everybody influenced me in some type of way, Beenie Man, Bounty. My mom was a Beenie Man fan growing up, so I listened to a lot of that, lots of Beenie Man. Yeah.
It's funny you said that. You named a whole bunch of different artists that has different sounds. And literally, I hear that in your music because you have Afrobeat, you have dancehall, you have reggae. Like, you can literally do everything. R&B.
For sure.
Literally everything. So how do you stay in love with the process?
Wow. I feel like that is so unrealistic to stay in love with the process. It's like any relationship. Sometimes you don't love your partner. Sometimes you hate them, right? But you are committed to making it work regardless. Just the other day, somebody asked me, so what if music doesn't work out? What is your plan B? And I'm like, I don't have a plan B because my plan B is to make sure plan A works. You get me? So, and at the end of the day, the evidence is there. It's working. You know what I'm saying? So just because I am not huge and big and popular doesn't mean that it's not working. It's working right now. You get me? But in time, you will see more evidence and more fruit. You know what I'm saying? So it's just something that you have to make sure that you're really committed to. Like, it's not something that you're gonna love all the time, because in everything in life, there's ups and there's downs. And you have to understand that the ups and the downs are literally the same thing, just opposite ends of the spectrum. And you can decide whether you want to look at it like it's up or you can look at it like it's down. But really and truly, up and down is the same thing. It just depends on your perspective. You know what I'm saying?
And sometimes you got to change your perspective.
Yeah, in order for you to see that, even though I might be down right now, I'm learning so much about myself. So really, I'm up. You know what I'm saying?
No, 100. And I was just, I think in the episode I'm dropping today that we're recording, I talked about starting over. And a lot of people look at starting over as
like a bad thing.
But it's not, because if you really think about it, you are walking in with an advantage because...
Fam, I was literally thinking that the other day.
Yeah, you're starting over with information that you never had when you first started.
Yeah, but also think of it. When you have leverage, you are able to apply more power. And the best place to gain leverage is from the bottom. That is the best place. That's the easiest place to squat from. Imagine you're in a hole and you're trying to find your way out. And you started from the middle of the hole and your legs are this wide spread apart and you're trying to climb out of the hole. It's so much harder to climb from that point from starting in the middle. But if you started from the bottom, it's so much easier for you to gain leverage to make your way up. You know what I'm saying?
I love that. Yeah. I would have never thought of something like that. But I like that.
Mm-hmm.
So you have a lot of experience in starting over. Literally. You just...
Too much though. Too much. It's
you
stressful.
Just uprooted your life and moved to a whole different country.
Yeah, but just remember I did that like literally a few years ago too, like 10 years ago. And here I am.
I didn't know that.
When I moved to Vancouver.
Gotcha. But this is a whole country.
I know. But Vancouver kind of gave me a little culture shock, even though it is the same country. But listen, the culture here is not a shock. So it's not that I'm experiencing culture shock. I think it's more of an adaptability thing. It's like, do you want to adapt to this, or do you want to just maintain your views and your perspectives that you already have instead of trying to fit in? for the majority of the population here, they think one way, right?
Yeah, 100.
And so I have to either decide if I want to adapt to that or if I want to continue to be myself. And I'm definitely going to focus on continuing to be myself. You know, sometimes you don't feel like you fit in, and that can be, you know, how it is as humans. We always want to connect.
What is that thing called? Imposter syndrome. Have you ever experienced that?
Yeah, I guess so. I think my imposter syndrome comes from a very deep place, though. Because remember, I already experienced like popularity and being on TV and all of that stuff from a young age because of track and field, right? And for me, growing up, I never felt like that was enough, even though I got all the accolades and all of the recognition. To me, it never felt like it was enough. So I feel like my imposter syndrome comes from that, like just not feeling like I'm enough. Yeah, of course I experience imposter syndrome. I think it's a normal part of, you know, the experience, you know, feeling like you deserve all of this that you're getting. But I mean, I don't think I even reached anywhere for me to really, really feel that yet. So I don't know.
I feel that. I need this advice. So what advice would you give people? I do. What advice would you give someone who is struggling with choosing their passion over stability? Because that's me. Like, I stuck between doing what I want to do and doing what is stable and safe.
But how do you know that you have stability, though? What are the evidence? What's the evidence of your stability?
I guess knowing exactly what my check is going to look like every 2 weeks.
Yeah, but what if you get fired?
True that.
So are you stable?
You know what? You're right. Because a lot of these jobs don't care.
Not a lot. All of these jobs don't care. You can be replaced. Like, look how many people are out there looking for work. You can be replaced at any time. I don't think that is stability. I feel like that is comfortability. You get me? That is not stability. Gotcha. So just don't be confused. At the end of the day, I will always choose my passion. But at the same time, too, I don't have just one passion. So I don't have to just choose one thing. I don't believe in purpose. I don't believe in a life's purpose. I think that just creates a lot of confusion and depression for a lot of people. I think that you should just go with the flow. And even if you decide 10 years down the road that you want to completely change path, do it. Because it's your life. And you should definitely experience all of what you should. You know what I'm saying? And sometimes life is just like, you know what? That chapter is done. We're starting a new chapter right now. And you have to just literally go with it. You know what I'm saying? So I just feel like, hey, maybe you don't feel passionate about something right now, even though you love it. Maybe you don't feel passionate enough to just quit everything that you're doing and just only do that. And that's okay. Because I do a lot of things, even though I love music so much, doesn't mean that I only have to choose music. You know what I'm saying? You can choose. I feel that. You can choose whatever you want, and that is stability. That is stability.
I feel like a lot of musicians do different things. Like even Rihanna, she don't have to step on another stage.
When was the last time she even put a song out? You know what I'm saying? So like,
and we need one.
Well, here's the thing.
But I don't think she will ever. I don't know if she'll ever come back.
Well, she says she's working on music, but like at the same time too, like she did her time. Maybe that season in her life is up. People have to get over it. You know, as much as we want it, we can't tell people what to do with their lives, and we don't want to keep her in a box. What if she continued to be a pop star? Would she be a billionaire today? Well, we don't know, right? But she decided to pivot, even though she uses her pop star platform to build her other platforms. I feel like she did it the right way. She focused on one thing, she grew it, and now she's able to branch off and do other different things. You know what I'm saying?
I feel like that's how it should go, because people don't understand that musicians, unless you're the producer, mixer, all of the above, artists really don't make as much money solely off of their music as a lot of people might think.
Not by themselves, because
the record label, the producers are the ones making.
Because a lot of them, you have to remember, are not writing their songs. They're only performing them, and then they're not building their beats. You know what I'm saying? So, let me tell you, there's a lot of imposters out there. So I refuse to even have imposter syndrome, because there's a lot of people out there who don't know anything about music. And I'm not saying that you cannot do music if you have no experience, but at the same time too, I'm saying like, you're not gonna really like, you can get robbed. Like, I don't know what else to say, but like
100%. And I feel like artists going into the industry now, I feel like there's no excuse, because you guys
there's too much information out there.
The older generation had to deal with
too much information.
Even Angie Stone come in to talk about not owning, not getting any royalties for her music.
Didn't
and her
she
songs,
just pass?
Yes.
Rest in peace.
She literally made a video talking about going after the record label to get her back royalties.
And that's why they murked her.
And I'm like, oh my God, the timing of it all.
Why does that always happen though? Why is that
I don't
always?
know.
It's weird.
At this point, I feel like it can't be a coincidence every time.
Well, guess who owns Uber? Me. And it now go change, because guess what? If me rebuild my rhythm, me I go make sure me rebuild it. Me not make nobody rebuild my rhythm, you get me? And in the mood is mine. Don't deserve me, mine. All them are for me. And I'm glad I never listened to people. I am glad I listened to myself. I'm glad I spent the time to learn. You get me?
Yeah.
I don't even care how it sounds. It might not sound the best right now. And a lot of people told me don't put it out because it doesn't sound good. And I didn't listen to them, and I put it out same way. Let me tell you, I have gone places that I've only been to one time, and I've met people that I've never seen before, and they have said to me, Uber, yo fam, do you know how that makes me feel? Imposter? How could I ever look at myself and call myself an imposter when I am doing it? The evidence is there.
And you deserve it.
And anybody that says, do you have a plan B, is somebody who does not believe in themselves. I believe in myself because I have seen the evidence that if I put in the work, I can make it happen. I've done it before. I remember how I was thinking when I've won races, when I've accomplished things, when I wanted opportunities. I know where my mind was. And I know that if I can just channel my mind certain ways, certain things will happen. You get me? I could never feel like an imposter. I know sometimes I feel like, man, that's crazy that all this crazy stuff is happening to me. But no, I could never feel like an imposter because, boy.
I was literally just about to ask you if you ever had any self-doubt.
Well, because I think those things are normal. So yeah, like I'm not going to come on here and say no. Like, yeah, I'm human. You know, I go through those things. Yeah. But at the end of the day, some of the thoughts that I do have to repeat to myself when I do think those things or do feel those things is, I do this. This is what I do for a living. I get paid. I'm on stage all the time, and it's not my first time. I am not an amateur. I have the experience. I do this. You know what I'm saying? I just remind myself, like, this is what I do. I'm born for this. These are the conversations I have with myself. So when I go on stage, yes, I'm nervous. Yes, I am scared, but I don't let that hold me back. You get me? I go and do it anyways because I know that at the end of it, I'm going to be like, well, I guess that was easy. You know what I'm saying?
Listen, I'm going to insert the clip of you performing and the man broke the mic.
Yo.
All right, give me a minute. You ready? Vroom, 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 quick, quick, quick. They have to tell me to move up from in 2 minutes. So me text the driver, tell him, push the limit. They got me want to let the party. So me go shut up.
Hear me. It's the Empress. Hold on. Sorry, no,
That was a good time though. That night, let me tell you, that night, I was high off that night for literally like the next 2 days. Because you have to remember, you know me, I'm antisocial. You know what I'm saying? So like, I don't really go out and stuff. And so I met some people in the community via TikTok. So I walk, go up the road, go buy something. And the man in the shop was like, you're Jônelle. And I'm like, quit playing with me. I'm like, how do you know me? So anyways, we ended up talking and blah, blah, blah. And then he ended up inviting me to that something that I think it was a Wednesday night. It's like a something they keep every Wednesday night there, something like that. Yeah, and so when I got there, he went to go buy me a Malta. And when him come back, you know, one of your fans wants to meet you. I'm like, what? And so the whole night they were both trying to like get me to go up, and I'm like, I'm gonna go up. Like, I don't have a problem going up and taking the mic, so you don't have to worry about that for me. Like, I have no problem going up and taking the mic. So one thing I don't like is when people go on my behalf and say, hey, I have a friend. Like, I don't like that because I feel that. Yeah. Like, yeah. I am fully confident in my ability to speak for myself, you know? So they kept insisting that I'm like, just when the time is right, you will see me take the mic. You know what I'm saying? So anyways, I finally take the mic now. And I guess because Larry, that's the first time he's seeing me in person, like on the mic. Yeah, that's the same man who said he was a fan of me from TikTok that I saw there at the night. Him come take the mic, I guess, because he was so excited. And then the mic ended up broke. The mic wasn't broken for the rest of the night, but the top part here definitely came off. And the wires were exposed and everything. But it was a really good night. Like, honestly, the people, they They loved me and they made me feel very welcome. And you know what? I know how people talk about our culture and how we fight against each other and how we put each other down. But I promise you, we have community. Like Jamaican culture has literally taught me community. You know what I'm saying? And I went there and I really felt like I was a part of a community, even though it was my first time there. And yeah, and these were all older gentlemen. You know what I'm saying?
I love that with Jamaica. Like, Jamaicans are such loving. We can cuss,
loving,
but Jamaicans are loving,
and they
people.
take care of you.
Like, you can never have a neighbor and be hungry.
This is why, honestly, I was even thinking to myself today, you know what I have to stop saying? I have to stop saying that the people them are against each other and will fight against one another. Because you know what? If you keep saying it, that's what you're going to keep seeing. You know what I'm saying? You have to change your belief system. So I have seen enough proof to see that, no, we actually do come together and we do work together. And when we work together, it's a good time. You know what I'm saying? So, like, yeah, I think we just have to change our perspective. Like, yeah.
I love that. I seen this video. It was this guy, he said, if you're going down a skiing slope and you're focused on avoiding trees, you're only going to see the trees.
Exactly.
But if you just focus on the path, it's going to be an easier ride. And I was like, that's facts.
Facts.
So I feel like a lot of us have to change our perspective to get a better life experience, because life is never going to be perfect.
Never.
You're constantly going to have ups and downs, like you said. It's just how you view it and how you handle it and how you make it affect your life, mental health and everything.
Let me tell you how wanting to be perfect has held me back. I have withheld content. I have withheld songs, music, stuff like that. And, people will be like, well, where's Jônelle? It kind of seems like I've disappeared. But, it's that want and that need to be perfect that is really stopping me from putting myself out there. And it's like, at the end of the day, nobody really cares, That's the truth. That is the truth of the matter. You see, when you go to the gym and you think everybody's watching you, everybody thinks everybody's watching them. Like, we are all literally having the same thought at the same time.
Nobody cares.
Nobody cares.
I promise. Well, did your decision to move affect your personal relationships with friends, family?
Yeah.
And
mostly family though. But at the end of the day, I didn't really have much of a relationship with them anyways, so I don't really care. I don't really care what people think, period. To be honest, I'm just going to do what my intuition and my spirit tells me to do, regardless of how you feel or she feels or they feel. I'm going to do me. You get me? So
that's a hard place to get to. I'm getting there.
Well,
but it's a hard place to get to.
I had my heart trampled on, and that's what brought me to that place. Straight up.
I feel that.
I got my heart broken in pieces. I put it back together and it got broken again. I put it back together and it got broken again. And I literally went through so many things that traumatized me in the same span of time. And that's how come I got to that place. Because it was like, yo, don't you see the pattern? Don't you see the pattern? And sometimes life will put you through the same things over and over and over and over and over again until
so
you finally get it.
Like that movie where you keep reliving the same day?
Yeah, yo, but that's life. But you laugh, but we literally live the same day every single day unless we do something different. Period.
Girl.
Be honest.
Girl.
Wake up in the morning, you brush your teeth, you shower, put on your clothes, work, you eat, you come back. You're literally reliving the same day over and over. People call it tomorrow, but tomorrow never comes, because when it comes, we call it today. There is only now. We're living
Girl, I feel like I just smoked a big spliff a while ago. What?
We're living in a time loop, bro.
I don't know why that just blew my mind. What?
But be honest, think about it. What's your...
no, that's real. That's real. That's real.
So that's why the other day I was kind of feeling, I wouldn't say I was feeling depressed, but I was definitely feeling like, man, I'm tired. And honestly, you know what my body was telling me? You need to work out. You need to push yourself. You need to get up and challenge yourself. That's what you need to do. You need to get up and work out. And since I've been working out, yeah, fam, I'm up. I'm getting things done. I'm ticking things off my list. Not to say that I don't do that regularly, but sometimes I have some periods of times where I'm like, man, I don't really want to do much. You know what I'm saying? So
no, I feel that.
I had a moment where I was like, yeah, I'm not really trying to do anything. And that's another reason why you haven't really seen me go live, because I'm just trying to make sure that I put myself first. You know what I'm saying?
What do you want people to feel when they listen to your music?
Love and love alone. I know that I have a lot of songs that talk about a lot of different things, but I feel like ultimately the message is clear that it's love.
Let's fall in love right now.
Yeah. I don't want to wait. Yo, that's a big tune. I don't care what nobody says. My catalog is strong, eh?
Bro, I promise you. And I think we were talking about this the other day. I think it puts a lot of pressure when an artist goes viral off of like their first freestyle or whatever the case may be.
Yeah, right. I'm okay with not doing that.
No, like if you have a song that takes off right now, your fans have a plethora of music that they can listen to in the meantime while you work on another project. Like there's so many songs you can push. Her catalog is top tier.
And I promise you, I have songs right now that they're not doing the greatest, but I promise you, when my thing takes off, those are the songs that you're gonna see with the most streams. I promise.
I'm telling you,
like Uber, Mood, those are gonna be the songs with the most streams because the people that the evidence is
Mood is definitely like international for sure.
Bro, I love Mood. You know, I have them already. I don't care what nobody says to me. I know that there are a lot of people that feel the same way that I do. I'm not going to make myself look like I'm one in a million, even though I am. But I'm not going to make myself seem like we haven't seen this before. No, I really believe with all of my heart from the day that I can remember existing that I am definitely going to make it. Like, this is clear to me. This is clear as day to me. I knew it from I was a little girl before I even thought of doing music. You get me? So I'm not in a rush. I'm taking my time. I have songs that are radio ready right now, and I'm me produce them, and guess what? I go make the whole of my blood clot money. Sorry, people, pardon my French, but the truth, I have to talk it.
Every time I hear a new song, I'm like, okay, that's my new favorite. Two of her most recent, she has Brand New Year, and that was my favorite for 2025. And then this girl dropped Ganja, and that's my favorite for 2025. And literally, I promise you guys, remember this. This is, what day is it? March 4th?
Mm-hmm.
At the end of the year, when Apple Music sends me my wrap up, you're going to see Brand New Year and Ganja at the top of the list. I listen to it every day. And I'm like, should I be listening to this going to work? I don't know.
Because big tune, what to you? They can
it's tough.
All them are at the Ganja. It's a bun. But yeah, yo, it's my first Ganja song. Yo, even the fact that
it is.
Even the fact that I'm making Ganja music, bro. What? Ganja Farmer was my track when I was a youth, and now I'm here making Ganja music? Are you guys dumb? Me?
In Jamaica?
Oh, is this my life? I promise you, when I left the open mic something, I literally left thinking, I love my life. I love my life, bro.
Period.
I am not rich. I can show you where I live. I am not by any means rich. I don't have it all together, but I quit my life hard, fam. And I realized anytime I need anything, I have it. I have it. Even if it's money. Even when it's money, fam. And sometimes I check and it's like it comes from nowhere. So anytime I need it, I have it. I'm never worried about it. I never worry. I just know you guys are going to find out. All who don't know, them are going to know. All who never like we are going to love we now.
And who never heard Joe?
They're going to hear her.
They're going to know. They're going to hear it.
Yeah.
She's going to be a name. She's a force. 100. And what is next for your career? I know that's a very common question. What is next?
I don't know what's next, to be honest. I'm just going to continue to put out music and put out content to promote my music. You know, there's some things that I want to do. I don't want to talk about too much about what I'm doing.
Gotcha.
But I do have new music coming, so you guys can definitely look forward to that. But however, in terms of what happens next, I'm not sure. I'm open to anything what that the universe has for me. And I know that all of the preparation that I have put in will show if I'm ready or not. And I believe that I'm ready. So we'll see what happens next. I'm ready for it, whatever it is.
I feel you. And tell everyone where they can find you and find your music.
So you can find me on all platforms at _I am Jônelle. Some platforms it's _I am Jônelle music, like YouTube and Facebook. But for the most part, it's _ I am Jônelle. And don't forget the accent over the O. It looks like a little hat shaped like this over the O. And you can find me anywhere on all streaming platforms, all social media platforms at the same name. Yeah.
Thank you, Joe. I love you. Guys, follow her on Bandcamp. Support her because her music is so powerful and genuine. And I really can attest to that. And I love her music. Thank you for being here. And I'm happy we can make this happen.